to save money on his electric bill, a Mississippi man says he shelled out nearly $100,000 for new solar panels for his property. But he says the company he hired to do the work seemingly vanished. We investigate in an all-new Fox 8 Defenders investigation. Inside his 3,000 square foot shop,
I am putting an rear axle bearing in it.
Jim Dutton works meticulously, restoring vintage cars.
I changed it from a Ford 8-inch to a Ford 9-inch rear end.
This is a labor of love. So too is his property in Carriere, Mississippi.
That half is heated and cooled. This is the shop area for my cars and toys.
Last August, Dutton says his son expressed interest in keeping the property in the future.
So I said, I need to make it as efficient as possible for them to maintain it. I was called out of the blue. They gave me, it was one of those calls from Trend Solar.
Trend Solar is a Covington-based company that sells solar panels.
So they called, and all of a sudden I said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea, right? If I can cut the electricity bill down, that was anywhere between $400 to $600 a month. That's a good chunk of change. So I looked online and pulled up Trend Solar, and it looked like a legitimate business. And one of their partners, I guess, as they call it, on the website said Panasonic something, and they rated them as in 2023 the best installer in the region.
Within days, Dutton signed a contract with Trend Solar and signed up for a loan with Mosaic, a lending company, to help pay for the $99,000 job. According to this contract, Trend Solar told Dutton he would need 47 solar panels on the roof of this structure, and lines run under the driveway to connect the panels to Dutton's main house. The plan was for the panels to provide energy to both the main house and the shop. Dutton says Trend Solar told him it would send an electrician after the installer put the panels on to wire the project.
They installed the panels within 3 days. I was like, wow, this is cool. They weren't kidding, 4 to 8 weeks. Then it was radio silence.
Dutton says he called repeatedly and wondered where the electrician was. 3 months later, in December,
I had an electrician show up finally. But the problem is they didn't have an approved plan, so they just wired it.
According to Dutton, the utility company providing electricity to his home never approved Trend Solar's plan for the solar panels. It's standard practice for that to be done in Mississippi before any work begins. This email lays it out. David Blackledge, a manager with Cooperative Energy, wrote in February, I conducted an on-site visit to the Dutton residence. To be clear, these 2 jobs should not have been installed by Trend Solar because they didn't make it past the initial utility review stage. The installation method used has created multiple potential safety hazards.
One of the safety hazards is because all of the panels are on my shop and 20 some odd feed the house, they did not put a cutoff switch on the shop for those panels. So his concern was if I had a fire in the shop and the firemen went up there to cut a hole in the roof and they cut into the panel, it was hot. And there was absolutely no way to turn them off other than go to the other side of my property and hit the house switch.
Dutton says he also discovered issues with the wiring done by the electrician hired by Trend Solar.
So here's an example. They didn't even cut it long enough, so I've got exposed wire here.
Blackledge's email details that a Trend Solar representative messaged him asking for permission to install the panels. Problem is, they were already installed. Blackledge then said he couldn't get a hold of anyone at the company when he tried to follow up. Because according to Blackledge's email, the installation was done incorrectly and posed safety hazards. The panels can't be turned on. In other words, they don't work. It's like they vanished.
They're gone. I have phone numbers. They won't return my phone call.
According to its website, this is where Trend Solar is located in Covington. When we showed up here to try to track down somebody with the company, we couldn't find any Trend Solar signage on the door. But other people who work in this office complex told us Trend Solar actually closed months ago. Turns out Dutton isn't the only one trying to track down Trend Solar.
We've reached out many times. Through our processes, we've been unsuccessful to get them to respond.
The Better Business Bureau says it's received complaints about Trend Solar.
All the complaints have been the lack of customer service, communication that's been happening.
Trend Solar's website was recently taken offline, although it's still listed as an active company on the Louisiana Secretary of State's website. We tried to find the 3 people listed as co-owners or co-founders, Trey Clark, Sharon Urbina, and Rain Rogers, but we couldn't get a hold of them. We called Mosaic, the lending company that's still sending Dutton bills.
Did you think you were duped?
Yep. And I'm stuck paying, a note from the loan I took out.
Despite repeated attempts to get a comment, no one from Mosaic ever called us back. Mosaic also has Better Business Bureau complaints lodged against it. And there's an alert on the BBB's website letting consumers know that attorneys general in a number of states are suing Mosaic for deceptive trade practices.
A government action or a government warning is definitely a red flag to utilize with a business.
Dutton says he feels like he's hit a brick wall. The last time he's been able to get a hold of anyone was in March, when Mosaic told him it was referring him to a third company who would work to fix the job Trend Solar started. But today, he says he still hasn't heard a word from that company or heard back from Mosaic.
Do you have faith that Mosaic is going to make this right?
No.
It's been 9 months since he signed up for what was supposed to be a 90-day job.
I'm still out $100,000.
It must make you angry.
Say the least, yes. I've had my fair share of bad contractors, but this is probably the worst. You're not talking $10,000, you're talking $100,000. I think it's up to me to fight it.
Jim Dutton hired an attorney as he tries to figure out next steps. On the Louisiana Secretary of State's website, we discovered one of the owners of Trend Solar, Rain Rogers, is listed as an officer of another solar panel company called Pelican Power Solar. That company was just registered with the state in February. If you've got a consumer complaint you'd like us to look into, call the Fox 8 Defenders, staffed with volunteers from the National Council of Jewish Women, or fill out our online complaint form.